Good morning, universe. My name is Mitch Barnett. That's my dog over there, Katrina Barnett. We're survivors. We're working on a project now. We're writing a book. It's going to be called When We Die, We Will Go to Heaven, because we all have to pass through hell, by Mitch Barnett and Katrina Barnett. So that's the name of the story. When we die, we will all go to heaven because we all have to pass through hell, by Mitch Barnett and Katrina Barnett. These are the short stories of Mitch Barnett. This is Katrina Barnett, and she survived Hurricane Katrina. She had cancer twice. I had 3 strokes, and we're survivors. Today I'm going to talk about, I'm going to have a flashback actually. I'm going to go back to 1966. 1966, I was living in Brooklyn at 3023 Avenue X in Sheepshead Bay. And I was a junior in high school. It was 1966. And I was playing, it was so important for me to make the varsity, but I never made the varsity in Sheepshead. I made the junior varsity. But my friend, Steu, actually Bob Grant's son, I don't know if they changed their name. His name was Bob Gigante, but I knew him as Bob Groszowski. That's what I knew him. He used to sell. Bob Grant was he was a legend in talk radio. He used to sell ice cream to the kids. He used to sell ice cream. He was an ice cream driver, ice cream truck. But then later in life, he went over to California, and he made it very big in radio, very, very big. He was a legend in talk radio. And his sons, I don't know if he changed his name, but his son Steu, I think he went to, he was trying out for the basketball. That was very important for him to make the basketball team. So I look out my window, and right 50 yards outside my house, there's a full court basketball court. So I see Stewie shooting baskets. I see him shooting. He's very happy shooting. So I decide I'm supposed to study and then go have practice. I belong in a basketball league at the Y. I have to study, but I'm gonna go shoot with Stewie. I said, Stu, how's it going? How's the tryouts going for Sheepshead? He said, oh man, it's hard. He said he's supposed to be faster than everybody on the court, because he's a guard. He's a guard, so he's supposed to be faster than everybody else, but he's slower than everybody else. So he said, I think I'm going to get cut. I said, don't say that. He thinks he's going to get cut. He said, if I get cut, I'll go join the Y. I'll go to Y with you and play in that league. I said, it's a very good league, so you could. That would be a good idea if you get cut, but I don't think you're going to get cut. But it turns out he did get cut for the varsity. He was the last one to get cut. He was the last guy, and he was on the JV a year before I was on the JV. I was on the JV a year later. But he got cut, and he actually joined the Y, and he was going to an all-star game for the Y, and he was going with this girl. His girl actually lived in Luna Park. Where did they get the name Luna Park? Luna Park in Coney Island, this was the development of apartments in Luna Park. What happened was 100 years ago at Coney Island at Luna Park, they would have somebody actually electrocute the animals, the elephants. That's why they got the name Luna Park. Of course, people are so stupid. This is what they do to make money. They would have a big show to electrocute the animals. This is how sick our society is. But so what happened was he met this girl. Her name was Andrea, and what happened was they were going to. Stewie was on the All-Star team at the Brighton Y, and he was going to the game, and they rented a bus. He was going on a bus. Coney Island team rented a bus to go to East New York. So they rented a bus, and they had the All-Star game, and the East New York and Coney Island, they just don't get along. People don't get along. And what happens, they threw a snowball or a rock at the bus, and the bus driver took a chain and came after the bus to run after the guys from East New York. So the bus, all the guys from Coney Island, they saw him chasing the kids. Everybody started to get off the bus, and Stewie, when he saw them all he wasn't going to get off the bus, but he made believe he was going to get off the bus. He made believe he was going to get off the bus, and this girl Andrea would say, "No, sit next to me, sit next to me." So Stu sat down next to Andrea, and they started talking, and then it turned out to be his girlfriend. They ended up seeing each other, and what happened was, Andrea and Stu, they introduced me to this other girl that lived at Trump Towers. Her name was Cheryl. So they introduced me to Cheryl, because I used to go out with girls from Trump Towers because there was a big development. So I went out with a few girls. I had a girlfriend actually had a few girls that I went out with that lived in Trump Towers. But talking about Trump Towers, anyway, changing the subject a little, Trump Towers, Trump made a tremendous speech when he was talking about at the UN. I was so proud of him. His speech was a beautiful speech. It was a beautiful speech. And Benjamin Netanyahu was so proud of it. He said, "I was really proud of the president." I was proud of the president. But that's our story, a little bit of our story. And the name of our book is going to be "When We Die, We Will Go to Heaven, Because We All Have to Pass Through Hell" by Mitch Barnett and Katrina Barnett. But that's a little bit of some of our stories, and this is what we got to say. That's my dog. She's schluffing, which means sleeping in Jewish. She's schluffing a little bit. She's tired, and this is a great pet. This is the greatest dog. And we go into the park, or we go into my friend Clarabelle Kwan's house, and she does the video for us, and we're putting it on YouTube. And this is our story about surviving. We're survivors, and that's going to be our story. When we die, we will go to heaven, because we all have to pass through hell, by Mitch Barnett and Katrina Barnett. Have a good day, universe.